Hey guys, this is Buford with Scholarships for Soccer, and today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Alena Miller, and she is headed to play soccer in the fall in college. So Elena, welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, and now starting off, where do you play your club and high school soccer, and where are you playing in the fall?
For club, I play for St. Croix Soccer Club, and for high school, I play for North Lakes Academy. And in the fall, I'll be playing at Upper Iowa University.
Upper Iowa University. Okay, now is that a D1, D2, D3 NAIA school?
It's D2.
Okay, so what drew you to Upper Iowa University?
I really liked that it's not far from my house. I live in Minnesota, outside the Twin Cities, and I liked the smaller class sizes. It's a pretty small school, which I like, and it's D2. It's a higher competition level, which is what I was looking for.
Okay, now originally did you reach out to Upper Iowa first, or did they reach out to you first?
I reached out to Upper Iowa. I sent them an email following my high school season with game tape, or like with video of me playing.
Okay, so going back to high school, when did you start the recruiting process?
I'd say it like officially started probably right after my senior year of high school. So mid-October was probably when we really started sending emails.
Okay.
It was very weird. I had a very interesting process.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about that since you started, late into your senior year. I guess first of all, why did you start so late, and then, what made you decide to go for it when you did in your senior year?
So I guess the first real concrete step I took towards playing college soccer was I switched clubs. I switched from a C2 team to a Premier 1 team. I went from Lakes United Club to St. Croix Soccer, and I started playing on a Premier team. But at the time, I was only a sophomore, and my coach had instructed me that since I'm a goalkeeper and I hadn't had a lot of training, that I should spend my sophomore year focusing on those technical skills, so that and really honing my talent, so that I would look better in front of college coaches instead of going to ID camps and stuff right away. And then I could really start focusing on emailing coaches and stuff in my junior year. But then in my junior year, I tore my ACL in the first game of high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was rough. Anyway, so my complete junior year club and high school was a wash. I couldn't play until the August right before my senior year. I was cleared the same day as the first game of high school the following year. So obviously I couldn't go to ID camps or talk to a lot of coaches then, because I didn't really have anything to show them, which is why we waited until the end of my senior year when I could get some game tape and stuff together to actually show people.
Okay. Was there a point in your junior year when, you tore your ACL, and was there a point that you thought it may not ever happen for you?
I did, yeah. It wasn't so much that I thought I'd never play in college. It was that I would never play at the level that I wanted to. So, I knew that I could still, join a soccer club or something in college, or I could go to, a NAIA D2 or something like that. But I was worried that I would never get to play, D2. I'd had my heart set on D2. That's what sounded like was the perfect balance for me, I think, of like high level competition but still not being like so much that I can't focus on academics or other aspects of my life. And I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to get there and that it would be too late.
Okay. Now, was Upper Iowa the only offer that you had, or did you have other offers?
I had offers from several D3s, and I was talking to a couple other D2 coaches, but after Upper Iowa was the only D2 I visited, but I really liked it. I liked the environment I got from the school. I really liked the coach and the way he talked about soccer and what he valued in his athletes. And I watched him talk with a couple of his players and stuff, and I really liked how they interacted with him and how the teammates interacted with each other. It just seemed like the environment I wanted to be in. It was the people I met there, they all seemed very hardworking, very focused, but I'm trying to think of the right word, but still like nice and like down to earth.
Okay. Now you mentioned you're a keeper, and it's a little different from field players. How much attention did you pay to how many keepers they had on the roster currently, and I guess the roster management of keepers?
I did look at that, and I looked at that with all of the D2s I looked at. So like one of the other D2 coaches I was talking to was from Bemidji, and he had 5 goalies on his roster or something like that. That was not appealing to me. So Upper Iowa only has 2 others. There'll be a senior and a junior, and a junior this fall. And that's pretty small if you look at a lot of the rosters for goalies, or average at least. So yeah, I did pay attention to that, and that was important to me that I would eventually be able to play, even if it wasn't right away or if I had to watch someone else play first.
Okay. And now you mentioned that back in high school, you did play club in high school. What were the differences between playing club and playing in high school?
So I go to a very, very small high school. We have 400 students between the middle school and high school. So high school is a very, very different environment. For me, high school is different in that I was, as someone who had the most experience and played at the highest level outside of the high school team, I really had an opportunity to step up and be a leader on that team. And I was a captain for 3 years. That was a lot more about helping other girls learn how to play and a lot more about having like fun and focusing on that part. Whereas with club, it was a lot more about bettering my technical skills and more focusing, I guess, on myself and getting to the next level.
Okay. Now, being a keeper, did you do a lot of outside private keeper training, through your high school years, or did you mainly just train with your club?
I started this, I didn't do a lot of extra keeper training, not until after my injury. I did all of the trainings that my club offered for goalies and stuff. So like I went on all the team practices, and then they had goalie training and stuff. And I went to as many of those as I could when I was a sophomore, because of such a big part of that year was catching up with those technical skills, because I hadn't had any formal training before that. And then after I came back from my injury, I started doing training with a guy named Sean Burkett, and he does like small group training and stuff, and with Ryan Manning in the summer, this past summer I trained with Ryan Manning and then 2 other keepers who were already in college. And I did that to kind of get back in shape and get ready for high school.
Okay, now keepers are a little bit different breed. What is it that makes you love being a keeper so much as opposed to a field player?
I really do love both. I played on the field for as long as I could, actually. But I think what sets me apart anyway as a keeper is that, like, the most important thing for me, no matter where I'm playing, is to keep the ball out of the net because the other team can't win if they can't score. And I think I liked being that last line of defense and knowing that the person who was standing in the goalie position was going to do everything that they humanly possible to keep the ball from going in the net. I wanted to make sure that my teams had that person that was gonna stop the ball no matter what. And I also, now that I'm older, I really like being able to see the whole field and being able to see the game and kind of manage it in that way by having that full view of the field. So.
Okay. So when the opposing team is coming at you, and let's say they've got a striker that's feared around the league or wherever, you know their striker is good, and they're coming at you one-on-one. What are you thinking at that moment when they're coming straight at you?
If it was like a breakaway situation,
yes,
I'm not focusing on who they are or what they've accomplished. I'm mostly waiting until I think I can come out and take the ball.
So do you like coming out and taking on the striker?
I do, actually. Most people would probably consider it a strength of mine, is my breakaway ability. I think I mentioned the game tape that I had from high school season. It was like a 3-minute long video and 1.5 minutes was breakaway saves.
All righty. Well, that's good. You like the physicality of the game in that part.
Yeah. I'm at least not afraid of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay. Now, a lot of parents will be watching this video, and what would you say is the one thing that your parents did to help you the most in your soccer career?
Oh boy. So I think, well, they've done so much for me. I can't even think of pinpointing one thing seems impossible. Honestly, I think one of the biggest things is helping me find those training opportunities and being willing to finance and take me club's expensive. That's not a secret. So them being willing to pay for that and then to drive me to Kansas and I just totally spaced out. Omaha, that was the word I was looking for. Paying for the individual training once I came back, and then really believing in me and in my ability even when I was hurt, and reassuring me that even though I couldn't play right now, I could still play where I wanted to eventually. And I think that really helped keep me going when it didn't seem possible.
Okay. Now, what would you say is your biggest strength as a goalie that attracted college coaches to you?
I'm going to say what all of my coaches have ever had said. I have a certain fearlessness, I think, in the box. It's that I'm not afraid of that physicality, and I will go after any ball, no matter what the situation. I think I focus purely on shot stopping, and I think that's what sets me apart, kind of.
All right. Well, I know your parents are so proud of you, and I know they have to take extra blood pressure pills because being a keeper parent is tough. I wouldn't know personally, but I couldn't do it. But Elena, we're certainly glad that you enlightened us and have showed other players what it takes to follow your dreams, and congratulations on coming back from injury and overcoming injury. And we really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, well, thank you, Elena. And
Thank you.
if we interview you in a couple of years, make some time for the little people, when you get to be all famous on the soccer field.
All right.
All right, you have a good one, Elena.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.